Oh, sweet. Okay. We have some people. Hi, everyone. Sorry for that. I think I sang the theme song to an old TV show called Bonanza, and I think YouTube caught it and tried to kick us off. So, no singing for Leah. Everyone, stop texting me. I am very popular. So we'll wait for a few seconds. But okay, so basically what this is going to be is our live Q&A, which is question and answers. So basically what this is going to look like, hang on. Cool. Okay. Just making sure that everything is working for everyone. Should all be good. Josh, if you're on, could you tell me you're on? That would be awesome. Doodly-doo. For the 4 people that are on here, great job at getting here so quickly. Very impressed. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm going to try one more thing just to make sure that people can get on here. And we'll go from there. YouTube is so fickle. Not a huge fan of how complicated they make things. That's right. I'm talking smack, YouTube. Kick me off if you want to. Do it. I dare you. Okay. Try one more time just to make sure there's no confusion. There's no... Oh, I see myself. That's super chirpy. Okay, sweet. So we're here. We're doing great. So we'll give it a few more minutes. But basically, if you have any questions for me, if you literally, this could be anything. But basically, if you have any questions you can think of or any questions that you've always wanted to ask a pastor or someone who works at a church, ask away. That's the whole point of this, is to be super random. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be weird, but good, you know, it all works out. I feel so like, you know, when you get frustrated and nothing is working and then you have like that period. That's how I kind of feel right now. Just de-escalating. Okay. But anyway, Diego, did you end up getting your stuff? I left it at your house. I didn't check the messages after I sent that to you. But I hope you got it, because that means that everyone got their camp swag, which is awesome. I can't believe that camp was almost 2 weeks ago. It feels like no time. It feels so long ago, but at the same time, it feels like it just happened. Jeez Louise. Slowly getting more people. Welcome, doodly-doo. It's me, Leah. Ha. So I've been eating a lot this week. And if you shop at Trader Joe's, their crispy, crunchy, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube again. Basically, go to Trader Joe's. They have these, like, they're mini chocolate chip cookies. They're tiny, like probably the size of a quarter. And they're pretty thin, but oh my God, I finished this whole tub. Oh geez, this kind of makes me regret. There's 17 servings in here. A serving is 12 cookies, and it's 150 calories per thing. But the amount of sodium and saturated fat that's in here, I ate this whole thing in like a day and a half. It was delicious. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to Trader Joe's again today and buy another bag or bucket. It's just so good. I should keep this and use this for crafts. Also, so I'm kind of getting into that moment this week where I'm like, oops. I was like, I need a new craft. I'm getting bored. And so, because I got bored of my knitting, so I had to do something else. So I bought clay and I made a little macaroon. I don't know if you can really see that all that. Should I do the like influencer style? Like, ooh, ah. So that's a macaroon, which is fun. I have to bake it still. I should be really careful. I should not be playing with this. Oh, I'm so excited. But anyway, and then my favorite, I made a really, really tiny macaroon. Like, look how small that is. It's so tiny. But anyway, so yeah, so super fun, super tiny things. But we're here to do a Q&A. We're not here to have me just talk to you about random things that are in my bedroom. I did find all my old DS games today, so I will be playing DS crazy. So if you need me, Picto chat me. That's the only way you'll be able to get a hold of me for like the next 24 hours. It'll be great. It'll be super fun. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or, I don't know, text Josh, because why not? Make him do something. And Josh will send me some questions from you guys, and we'll go from there. I do have some announcements. I was like, I feel like I have something to do. So we do have announcements. So this Tuesday, August 4th, we will be opening our small groups. So we are still figuring out like the logistics of that, but basically we're going to be putting you into your groups for the school year. That is the group that you will be spending quality time with, kind of like cabins. So picture like your cabin group. A lot of them will kind of look the same. And so you will, if you loved your cabin, great. If you didn't, you didn't have enough time to get to know them. It's going to be wonderful. I promise you. So that registration opens up on Tuesday. So the link will be on our website. We'll be sending out an email to you guys. We'll make sure to be in like constant contact with you. And so that will be, registration will go through the end of the month. And then we will be starting that first week in September. But I'm really excited. It's going to be good. We are going to be talking about couple different things, but basically in the grand scheme of things, we're going to, I can't talk today. This is why I don't do live stuff, is because I just ramble and I don't know what to do with that. But anyway, so our groups are going to be great. It's going to be really fun. We're going to be figuring out ways to do social distancing things to stay safe. So we're going to be doing movie nights. We're going to be doing, there are a couple other things that I've been thinking of. So one thing Chuck and I and a couple of the other directors have talked about is getting AstroTurf and getting huge circles so that you guys can sit on these, like, they're almost going to look like lily pads. And we can spread them out in the parking lot and we can do like different activities and just like almost like do like a Bob Ross night again and just do painting together, having baking moments, cooking together, things like that. It's going to be fun. We're getting creative. We're trying to figure out what's going to work and what may not work. But I'm really excited for you guys. Are we allowed to choose the movies? We'll probably do like a poll of like, out of these 4 movies, like which one do you like the most? So we'll keep you updated on that. Emma said Leah. That's not a question. I used to do clay stuff. Yeah, you have the little clay things. Awesome. Yeah. So we have 7 people. I need 7 questions, please. That would be awesome. And Josh, any questions too? You know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, help. Waiting patiently. Do you guys like my Golden Girl? I touched it. I've had it for, I don't know how long. Oh, what's your favorite book in the Bible and why? Ooh, okay, so that's a good one. Oh my gosh, Noelle, I love that you're here. So good. Okay, so favorite book in the Bible. I feel like that's kind of a hard one. I do. So I'll narrow it down to, that's so hard. Okay, I'll narrow it down to 2. One will be in the Old Testament, one will be in the New Testament. So my favorite Old Testament Bible, book of the Bible is Esther. The reason I love Esther is growing up, the first, super random, but the first full-length VeggieTales, like at-home movie was the story of Esther. And I loved it because it was the first female lead in a VeggieTales movie. And so it was just wonderful. But so that made me really excited. But then also when I got to college, I took a Ruth and Esther book or class for those books. And they're both amazing. But I loved Esther because one fun fact about the book of Esther is that God's name is never mentioned in the entire book. They don't talk about praying to Yahweh or God. They don't talk about there's no outright religious words. It's all about how God is still moving in and amongst politicians and in a very turbulent time of life. And so I loved that because I feel like that's how we operate in our world. We operate with people who don't believe in God, don't know about Jesus, and there are still ways that God, we can listen to God and how God is wanting to work in these people's lives and how we can be basically assistance within that. So I love the book of Esther. It's very realistic, I feel like, and that's what I love is things like that could happen. I mean, not anyway, it's a very complex book that I love. My favorite in the New Testament would probably be Hebrews. So the thing I love about the book of Hebrews is that it really focuses on, it's like a good balance between how do we as Christians serve one another, but then also reminding ourselves, how do we as Christians care for ourselves? So for someone like me, who literally my job is to talk about Jesus, my job is to spend time with you guys and encourage you in your relationship with Christ and kind of walk you through that. It would be unfair of me to tell you that I'm in my Bible every day, doing all this stuff. I am in my Bible every day, but there's a difference between reading my Bible to prepare a sermon or prepare small groups or create curriculum, and reading my Bible for me and my relationship with Jesus. And so Hebrews, I feel like it's a really good reminder of for leaders, because we're all leaders in the Church of Christ, that as leaders, it's we have to take care of ourselves. We have to be making sure that we are doing as we say. So when I tell you guys hey, make sure to be praying today, I also need to be praying today. So I just love Hebrews because it's a gentle reminder that we need to do better. Whereas when we went through the book of James, that's very pow, you need to be doing better. And you're okay. Hebrews is a little bit more go with the flow of okay, here's how we do it. Let's go. So Old Testament, Esther, New Testament, Hebrews. Bada bing, bada boom. Hi, Jesse. I'm still so excited that Noelle is here. Which also reminds me, remember this Wednesday, we are watching Jonah, the VeggieTales Jonah together. So the link for that Zoom is on our website. Please join us. Even if you haven't joined us for the rest of it, it's literally the movie Jonah. It's so good. It's going to be amazing. So I'm really excited to watch that with you guys. It's going to be fun. So just join us. It'll be so great. Ooh, I know it's going to be good. Ask me questions or this will be boring. We'll do this for about probably 10 more minutes and then it'll get too boring for anything. I'm excited we're doing this though. So just remember also next week, Josh is going to be on the hot seat. So instead of me being here, Josh will be here, not in my room. That would be really weird. He will be live on YouTube and I will be focusing on the questions. Let's see who's going to be brave enough to ask me another question. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk. What can I talk about? Do you like marshmallows burned or extra burned? So I don't get a choice. I have to either burn it or burn it. I love it. Okay, so for me, I think I like getting it golden brown. And then I just flambe it. So I just throw it into the fire and but I immediately burn it out or like blow it out. So I would say I like my marshmallows burned because it's the perfect amount of crunch. But I feel like when you get it extra burned, you're just kind of eating chars. You're like, and it just feels like airy chalk. It's gross. So I just not a fan. But I do like it burned because, like I said, I do like it crunchy. But if you wait and you let it be golden brown, it cooks the marshmallow all the way through. So it's like it gets that gooey in the middle. And then when you burn it, you get the crunchy outside. So you have to do the balance, It's all good things. Oh, Ernie, good to have you. Okay, what is your favorite animal from Becca? Okay, cool. Hi, Becca. Okay, so my favorite animal, honestly, it just makes me happy that you asked me that. Because my favorite animal is a sloth. I love sloths. And they're just the absolute cutest animals. They are so weird and they move so slowly. But at the same time, they get to sleep for 23 hours a day. They only have to be awake for 1 hour a day to eat. And then they just get to sleep. And I'm just like, oh, what a life. That just sounds beautiful. And also they're just funny. One of my favorite facts about sloths is that, so they're not, because they're usually asleep. Imagine when you first wake up, no one immediately wakes up and is fully aware of what's going on. It's it was so when they're waking up in trees and they're so they hang upside down, right? So it's they're going, they're walking like this. So sometimes when they're doing that, they mistake their own arm. So it's they're hanging like this. They mistake their own arm for part of the branch. And so they'll grab their own arm and then release and then they drop. And it's so sad, but I'm imagine being so tired that you grab your own arm instead of a tree branch and you fall. So yeah, so it's just crazy. I love sloths so much. They just make me so happy. So yeah, so that would be if I had to choose one, I would choose that one. And I just get random sloth things. So this is from some old students that I had at my other church. And I just get random sloth things given to me constantly. And I'm not going to lie, it's probably the greatest thing. I have a sloth stress ball that's on my desk at work. I have I have a couple of sloth books. I have a lot of sloth. I'm going to make a sloth out of clay. Oh, you guys inspired me. Becca, that was all you. Becca gave me the idea to make a baby sloth. But yeah, so I have random sloth stuff around my house in my office because they just make me so happy. I love sloths. I know. So I actually haven't seen Zootopia yet. I know it's been out for 5 years, whatever. But when it came out, so I get tagged in so many sloth videos. Again, it makes me happy. If we are friends on social media, or if you have my number, or even if you just want to email me a video of a sloth, please do. It will make my day. But when Zootopia first came out, everyone would send me the Zootopia sloth. I need to watch it. I feel like that's another thing that I need to do. Is while I'm playing my DS today, I'm going to watch Zootopia. It's going to be fantastic. I don't know why that made me think of something, but I'm going to tell you guys who my favorite band is because it has nothing to do with Zootopia at all, but I don't know why. But so my parents are very, if you ever meet my parents, they're very different. They're very different people in a very good way. They're complementary. But so my mom grew up listening to 80s pop, which is consists of Journey, and that's her favorite band. So it's it's one of those things where you're Peter Gabriel, and if you look up 80s pop bands, that'll be my mom. And so then my dad, though, he grew up 80s rock and roll. So that is more so Queen, and he's also a folky person. So a lot of ballads. So then for instance, Fleetwood Mac. And so my favorite band, listened to it a lot growing up, is Fleetwood Mac. And so I've been on a Fleetwood Mac kick the last few days. And so that's why we were talking about my favorite animal. And I don't know why I thought of Stevie Nicks, but she's not an animal. She is a musician and a very talented musician. So yeah, you guys should listen to Fleetwood Mac music. If you ever are like, I don't even know where to start, listen to Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac. It's a bop. It's fantastic. And yeah, so that's my favorite band. You didn't ask for that, but I gave it to you anyway because, you know, the more the merrier. Let's see. Now I'm trying to think, okay, since we're talking about movies, I'm going to talk about my favorite movies. So I don't know if I actually, it's so hard to narrow it down sometimes, but what is my favorite movie? What would I consider my favorite movie? It would probably be a toss-up. No, I'm just gonna say it outright. So I love Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. There's like a really old one that came out in 95, which is sad to say because I was only a year before I was born. But it's long. It's good. It's just really long. But Keira Knightley's rendition of Pride and Prejudice is so beautiful. I love it. But that's also like a 2.5-hour movie. I think I'm losing my voice. Ugh. Weird. That or I'm just talking a lot and I'm getting dry mouth. So yeah, so Keira Knightley, she is beautiful and just a great movie. Watch it if you have the attention span to do so. I've always gotten questions for this, and a couple of you guys never saw them because when I met you in January and February, it was cold. And so I wore a lot of long sleeve shirts. But someone had asked me about this during camp. They like messaged me. I do have tattoos, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. And so I have this one, which is, I feel like I just turned down. Okay, so this is Lucy at the Lamppost. So this is from the Chronicles of Narnia. Great book. They're actually coming out with a Netflix series, which I'm pretty stoked about. It'll be great. But Lucy at the Lamppost is one of my favorite moments in the entire series. And the reason being is that it reminds me of like childlike faith, that Jesus always tells us like you need to come to the kingdom with childlike faith, believing in what we're calling you to. And Lucy's awe and amazement of Narnia when she first finds it and she finds the lamppost is beautiful. And the whole storyline like that leads up to like, how did the lamppost come about? Like, how does it exist? It's just, it gives me chills, and you can't really see it right now, but it gives me chills. This one is Bilbo Baggins sitting outside of his hobbit hole, which is another nerdy thing. But the writing, it says, in a hole in the ground. And this is my dad's handwriting. He wrote this out for me. So my dad is a mega nerd. Like if you guys think I'm nerdy, like my dad's very nerdy. And so when I was little, he used to read us recite to us the first paragraph of The Hobbit. And he just had it memorized because he read it all the time. So it starts with in a hole in the ground. Like that's the beginning of it. And so I knew that when I got my first tattoo, I wanted my dad to be a part of it. My dad and I are really close. And so I asked if he would write that for me in a hole in the ground. And he did a great job. My dad doesn't have the neatest handwriting. And I was away at college when I'm like, prepare for this. And my mom would send me videos of my dad like every night for like a month leading up to the day I was getting my tattoo done. Because this was my first one that I ever got. He was sitting at the kitchen table, like practicing, like writing it out. And it was so cute. He's adorable, adorable man. And then I have this, it's a thimble, like for sewing. You put it on your fingers so you don't get pricked. And then this is an acorn. I'm not very flexible right now. And in the book, Peter Pan, if you can't tell, I love to read. In the book, Peter Pan, when Wendy says, I want to give you a kiss. And Peter's like, I have no idea what that is. So he goes, okay. And so she gives him a thimble, a sewing thimble. So then he goes, in the book, he says, I must give you a kiss back. So Wendy's like, okay, And he gives her an acorn. So those are the Peter Pan kisses because I just think it's cute. And then I have this right here. It's Hebrew, so you read it from left or from right to left instead of left to right. So it says hallelujah. And it is the proclamation of like being speechless in Hebrew, like all praise to God. Like I have no words other than like praise God, praise God. So that's right over my little heartsy hearts, which is funny because your heart's actually like around here. It's not over here. It's not like under your armpit. It's like this sternum that's like, that's where it's like protecting your heart, like whatever, anatomy. Never took it, but I did watch Grey's Anatomy once or twice. It's not that entertaining. Okay, but anyway, I did a lot of talking about things that I love. Also, I love knitting. So if you don't know that, I do love knitting. I can't keep plants alive for the life of me. So every plant that's in my room or around my house is fake. My cousin is trying to help me out, and she lives in Sacramento, and we FaceTime about once a week, and she is trying to help me learn how not to kill plants. I'm working on it. I love the show The Golden Girls. I probably watch it every day, at least a 10-minute snippet. I love pastel colors, and I love Jesus. Oh, I love Jesus and coffee and naps. I found that a couple of years ago, and I was like, that's beautiful, and that's everything. But other than that, that's it. You guys are awesome. I hope this was slightly entertaining for you because it's weird not having you guys talk back to me. Like if this was on Zoom, I think it would be different. But yeah, awesome question, Josh. Do you guys have questions for me before we sign off? Because that was the point of this. And I just kind of rambled, but that's okay. If you don't have any questions for me, I get it. No one loves Leah. Whatever. Okay. I'll give it 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So just remember, signups for our small group life groups are starting on Tuesday. We are watching VeggieTales on Wednesday. Join us at 7. That's what time it's starting. Why do I feel like we have other stuff coming up? I don't think we do. Josh will be doing this next week. And, we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, Josh is talking next week. So send us questions that you have for Josh. Email us or message us on Instagram or Facebook. But send us in questions for Josh because this is going to be awesome. It's going to be really funny to watch Josh try and do this. All right. Well, you guys rock. We love you. If you need us for anything, just let us know. Reach out. We would love to talk with you. I am going to set up a Minecraft account tomorrow. So once I have that set up, I will post it on our social media. So look for us on Instagram or on our Facebook. But I'll put I don't know how it works. So maybe it's like a handle or like a username or something. I don't know. Look for that. Help me out because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm so confused when you guys talk about it that I just want to figure it out. I'm just very curious. So look for me on that. You guys are awesome. I'm going to end this now, but we love you. You're seen, you were heard, and you needed. And toodles.